Number 2.
My name is Secretary of the Rights and State Association, and on behalf of the Association and the Nigerian Women Premier League Board and the Committee of Rights and State, I would like to welcome all the teams from the Super 6 to today's pre-match meeting. Without wasting much of our time, I will quickly want to hand over the pre-match meeting proceedings to the match commissioner.
Yes, hello and welcome to Weekend Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. That was the draw for the NWFS Super 6 right there in Yenagoa yesterday, and as we speak, hostilities have started in Nigerian Women's Football League Super 6 to know who is the champions of the league for 2023-2024 season, and also the team that will be representing Nigeria at the Wafube tournament for the women's club, where they will have to play to qualify for the CAF Women's Champions League. So a whole lot went down yesterday in the draw, and like I said, as we speak right now, one game is up. We will get into all of these and many more on the show. This lovely weekend is a weekend sport, and you know, whenever it is the weekend, sports actions everywhere in Nigeria, in Europe, and across Africa and other continents of the world. The EPL, the big one, is going to happen this weekend in the English Premier League, German Bundesliga, Italian Serie A, Spanish La Liga. These and many more will come your way on the show, but we will be starting with the big one also that will be happening tonight between the two best of the best when it comes to the pound-to-pound sports. That is talking about boxing, and that is where we'll begin on the show today. We will be looking at that fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, who wants to really remain the king. It's the undisputed heavyweight battle between these two. The last time we have the undisputed weight champion fight was between Lennox Lewis. That was in 2002, and this time around we're having it again between these two great boxers. That fight will be happening today live, and we'll be looking at who is the undisputed heavyweight boxer between these two fighters, between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. These two fighters are one of the best when it comes to the pound-to-pound flesh. We also have our own Anthony Joshua, who is in the mix, and probably the winner of this fight, at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua might just have at least that chance, that opportunity to fight one of these boxers after this fight tonight. It's a big one. It is the undisputed heavyweight bout between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. Big fight that will happen today, and I know a lot of person. This fight has been on the offing for long. We've been expecting this particular fight. It was a postponement, schedule, not agreeing on terms and whatever. But finally, last December, this fight was agreed, and the D-Day is here, May 18th. This fight has been set to happen between Oleksandr Usyk and the Gypsy King, that is Tyson Fury, the British boxer. So big one. We know that Oleksandr Usyk defeated Anthony Joshua twice, and now he's going to have a shot at Tyson Fury. It is a unification battle. We want to see who's going to hold all the belts that is available in the boxing world. The WBC, the WBO, the IBO, the IBF belt is between these two fighters. And who is going to win tonight? Who is going home with all of the belts? Who is going to, in fact, the biggest fight of it all? Let's quickly look at the analysis of both fighters. We have we have 35 years of age for Tyson Fury, and then 36 for Oleksandr Usyk, 1 year older than Tyson Fury. And then we have the other guy that is 36-35. We have about 35 fights for Tyson Fury. Out of 35 fights, he has won 34 and lost none, and one draw. And then for Oleksandr Usyk, he has 21 fights, 0 loss, 0 draw. And for Tyson Fury, he has one out of those fights, out of the fight, we have one draw for him, 24 knockouts, and then for Oleksandr Usyk is 14 knockouts in total of 21 fights. So I think this is a very close. This is a very close call. This is a very close call. And if you look at the height, we have a 6 feet 7 inches height, 6 feet 31 inches height. So that is 7 inches, 6 feet 3 inches for Oleksandr Usyk. All right, we have our guest all the way from Kaduna this morning joining us on the show, Joseph Peters. Welcome to Weekend Sports on Trust TV.
Good morning. Happy weekend.
Okay, tonight the big one will be happening. Oleksandr Usyk against Tyson Fury. It is the undisputed heavyweight bout between these two boxers. You've seen the analysis. 21 fights for Oleksandr Usyk. He has won all of those 21 fights. And then for Tyson Fury, he has also won all of his fights with just one draw, and we know that draw was against Deontay Wilder. So tonight, what are your expectations in this undisputed heavyweight bout between these two giants? Because I call that, well, Tyson Fury is more giant than Oleksandr Usyk, but these two are very hard punchers.
Yeah. Very much anticipated game which has been postponed over and over again. Those two fighters looking to fight each other for a while now, and a lot of expectation. And I hope this night that we're going to have today actually meets the expectation. If you look at it very well, a more experienced guy against a rather experienced guy too. But when it comes to number of fights, you would see that Tyson Fury has more fights, 35 fights than this Olex, who has just 22. So what I see when I consider, like when I think about this fight is that it's going to be very, very bloody. First of all, because Tyson Fury is very stubborn. So I just hope that we have a night of an entertaining boxing match. But I really will not tilt towards Oleksandr Usyk and Fury. I'll stick with more experience, and he may not, really has a clean slate when it comes to numbers of losses and draws and all that. Does not take away anything from him. It's going to be a great night of boxing, and wait.
Okay, it's going to be a great night for boxing, and we cannot wait for this particular fight between these two great boxers tonight. But if we are looking at it this way, from your own point of view, we've seen, let's have that statistics back on the screen. Let's have that statistics back on the screen and compare. We've seen 34 wins for Tyson Fury out of 35 fights with just one draw. And like I said, that draw was against Deontay Wilder. And then when they came back again, the return fight, Tyson Fury actually won by unanimous decision against Deontay Wilder. And now for 34 wins, 1 draw. And then for Usyk, 21 fights, there's no 0 loss, 0 draw. And out of those 21, he has 14 knockouts. 14 knockouts out of those fights. I think, don't you think this is going to be in a way for Tyson Fury? Technically, we know that Usyk, technically, if we want to look at their technical abilities and how they punch, I think Tyson Fury has, Oleksandr Usyk, I beg your pardon, has that technical ability, just a little technical ability over Tyson Fury. What are those sides? What are the weaknesses that you think Tyson Fury is going to explore into this fight against Usyk?
Yeah, maybe when you look at the number of knockouts, you would think that, okay, Oleksandr, but you look very well at the number of knockouts of Tyson Fury, you would see that it's a lot more higher because he has played more, he has fought more boxers, and he has won more games. As far as I'm concerned, yes, this Oleksandr Usyk has a clean slate. We understand that he has battled, fought 21 times and lost none. and has not even drawn anything. But let's wait maybe till he has been able to fight up to 34 or 35 fights and still having that clean slate before we begin to compare him to Oleksandr and to Tyson Fury. But if you ask me now, speaking about your question as to whether what Tyson Fury can actually explore, if you look at it, you may want to think there is nothing for him to explore. But I feel like he's bigger and maybe a heavier. So let us watch out for Tyson Fury due to his experience and just for the fact that he has done it more and has seen it a lot more than Oleksandr Usyk.
Okay, has done it more and more fight than Oleksandr Usyk. That fight will be coming up at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I think the whole boxing event is shifting attention to the Middle East, and Saudi Arabia is the venue. As we can see, 34 wins out of 35, 21 wins out of 21 for Oleksandr Usyk, the Ukrainian. And I think our viewers at home, you have the opportunity to call in on the show and react to this particular fight. Who are you supporting? Who are you putting your money on? Usyk or Tyson Fury? And the number to call, probably will be coming up on the screen. But before then, the number to call is 08075 992766. I take that number again, 08075 992766. Who are you putting your money? Okay, 080, I beg your pardon, my director has actually given me the 08075 992766. I take the number again, 08075 992766. You can call in on the show and let's hear you. Who are you putting your money on, Tyson Fury or Oleksandr Usyk? That fight is bid for Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. All right, let's leave Saudi Arabia and come back home, and let's start from Abuja. Let's start from the MKO Abiola National Stadium, where it's going to be the big one this evening between the Flamingos of Nigeria against their Burkina Faso counterpart in the last round, in the second round of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifying series. Now, the first leg in Bamako, Mali, just it was a week ago, it was a goalless draw, and for the Flamingos, they have the opportunity to redeem themselves this evening against the ladies, the girls from Ouagadougou, that is Burkina Faso. Now, Joseph, this game at least speaks volume. The second leg of the second round of qualification series for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup that will be happening in Dominican Republic. What are your expectations for this particular game between Nigerian Flamingos and their counterpart from Burkina Faso?
Yeah, of course, my expectation would be nothing less than or more than or less than a win. Because to have gone to Bamako and taken a draw, no matter, despite the hostility, I would say, and despite the fact that it's an away, and to take a draw from that game is actually a good thing. So I expect nothing more than a win for us at our own backyard. And besides, if you look at the age group football, we are doing well in both male and female aspects of it. So this is a game I'm sure they must have prepared very well for, and I hope to see them score a lot of goals and qualify from this second round of the stage of the qualification.
Okay, you are hoping they score a lot of goals. Coach Bankole Olowokere said days ago that yes, they are focused on this particular game and not that of against Senegal or Liberia, who are also locked up in the qualification series. Whoever wins that leg between Liberia and Senegal will definitely face the winner between Nigeria and Burkina Faso. And as it stands right now, Senegal is leading the first leg 3-1 on aggregate score. But let's see how it goes. The game is bid for MKO Abiola National Stadium this evening by 4 p.m. Nigerian time between the Flamingos of Nigeria and their Burkina Faso counterpart. Coach Bankole Olowokere has actually called on Nigerian sports football loving fans in the city of Abuja to come around and cheer the girls to victory. Still talking women's football. Now let's look at our own club footballs in women's club football matters in Nigeria. The Super 6, as we speak, one game is already going on, the opener in the Nigerian Women's Football League Super 6 playoff, who is going to be crowned champions for the 2023-2024 league season. We have about 6 teams that qualify from the 2 groups. We have Group A and Group B, and the big names, as usual, made it through to the Super 6 playoff. The likes of Nasarawa Amazons, Edo Queens, Bayelsa Queens, Rivers Angels, all made it to the Super 6 playoff. And one surprising team is there, that is Heartland Queens of Owerri, for the first time qualifying for the Super 6 of the Nigerian Women's Football League. Before Joseph Peters, before you react, let's quickly look at match day 1 fixtures. Like I said, one game is already going on, and let's see that match day 1 fixture. That is one game is already going on as we speak at the Samson Siasia Stadium, and that game is between the Confluence Queens of Kogi and Edo Queens, which opens the game. We have Nasarawa Amazons against Heartland Queens, that will come up later, and Rivers Angels against Bayelsa Queens. So all of this match are lined up for match day 1. But as we speak, Confluence Queens is presently taking on Edo Queens. That's the first match of the Super 6. It's a round robin game. They are going to play against themselves. The team with the highest number wins the league and also wins the ticket to represent Nigeria at the Wafubi zone women's competition, where they will have to also slug it out from the region to qualify for the Women's CAF Champions League. Now, Joseph Peters, we want all of these teams made it to the Super 6. Strong teams, big teams. Like I said, one game is ongoing. Confluence Queens against Edo Queens in the Nigerian Women's Football League Super 6.
Confluence Queens have been around in Nigerian football for a while now, and Edo Queens have also been doing well, and they have their it's going to be a good and a competitive round, because as you see, they are going to play each other. All of them are playing each other, and I think then that will make it 15 points for the whole team. So possibly it's going to, maybe I feel like Nasarawa Amazon will be the ones to win the league as we have it. But we have also strong teams like Heartland Queens, Rivers Angels are there, Bayelsa Queens are there. I feel like the only team that's missing here would be Delta Queens, but then it's a competitive, has been a competitive league, and I know that this particular round of the Super 6 will also be as competitive and will be entertaining, and I urge Nigerians to actually go and watch all these football games for fun.
Okay, you urge Nigerians to go out there and watch these games. The venues at the Samson Siasia Stadium, where all of the games will become. It's a round robin format. Like I said, the team with the highest number of points in the playoff, Super 6 playoffs, will be crowned champions of the Nigerian Women's Football League 2023-2024 league season. Match day 1 is already, one game in match day 1 is already up. Confluence Queens against Edo Queens, Nasarawa Amazons, Heartland Queens FC of Owerri, and the Rivers Angels of Port Harcourt will take on the host state team, that is Bayelsa Queens. Let's see how it goes. Who is going to be crowned champion? Edo Queens, Rivers Angels, Heartland Queens, Nasarawa Amazons. Like Joseph Peter said, he's saying he thinks Nasarawa Amazons can win the league. Let's see how that goes at the end of games right there in Yenagoa. All right, let's leave the shores of the country and just zoom straight to FIFA headquarters. It is the 74th Congress right there where this decision has been taken, and as we speak, the organizers, that is FIFA, to stage competition that is in January. That is the FIFA 2026 FIFA Women's Club World Cup. You know, the men also have their version, and now the women's version for the first time will be coming up next year. That is the FIFA Women's Club World Cup, and now FIFA, in the 74th Assembly, the Congress Assembly, they have decided that this competition will come up in January next year. That is in 2026. That is the first edition. We know that the men normally play theirs in December, and now the women will have their first FIFA Women's Club World Cup in 2026, and the month of January have been fixed for this particular competition. Joseph Peters, I think what Gerard Infantino is doing is actually bringing a lot of innovation into football development in the world.
Gerard Infantino have tried. He has been trying, and I believe he will continue to try to, bring innovations into the game of football all over the world. And this is a welcome development. This is a kind of removal of gender inequality from the whole system itself. And I hope that one day we get to a level whereby female football also earns the same amount of money and the same amount of viewership, to equal that of men. That would be fantastic to see all these, celebrations and all these banter go around both male and female. But this is a stepping stone to that particular kind of stage. And kudos to Gerard Infantino for only for introducing it, and then for the timing. I believe it favors all the clubs, and I hope that we get to enjoy it and see another round of competitive football match, female football matches during the January season.
Okay, during the January season of 2026, for Gerard Infantino, a lot of innovation, and he's trying to balance all areas when it comes to football in the world between men and women. Like Joseph Peter said, we're still waiting someday that when the women will also be collecting the same amount with the men. But in United States, the women's national team and the men's national team, they are actually on the same pedestal. They are paid the same match bonus, the same pay they pay the men. That is the same pay they are giving to their women's team. That is the national women's team. So let's see how it goes. We can also have that in Nigeria when the Super Falcons will also be earning the same amount with the Super Eagles. All right, let's stay talking about the women's football. Let's just still at the same FIFA Congress, the 74th Congress that was held just yesterday, Friday. That right there, Brazil has been given the hosting right to host the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. For the very first time, the World Cup, Women's World Cup, will be going to a South American nation, and Brazil is the place that won the hosting right against the European countries that also bidded. The likes of Netherlands, Belgium, they bidded to co-host, but this time around, Brazil has been given the go-ahead to host that edition, the next FIFA Women's World Cup. The last was in New Zealand and Australia, and then in 2027, Brazil is the host country. I think this is a good news for the Samba nation.
Yeah, this is a very good news for the Brazilian nation and the Brazilian girls who are actually a force when it comes to female football. We remember the likes of Mata and what have you. So, to bring the game down to their, backyard and everything being played in their home, it is really going to be a good opportunity for them to actually win it. They would see it, and not just them, respectfully, the whole world would see them as the favorite to actually win the World Cup come the year 2027. So big congratulations to them, and I hope that they make the most out of it. We know them, we know what they can do. You know all the samba, the dance, the fun that involved when it comes to football in Brazil. And I'm very sure and positive that all those will be exhibited during the competition. So we are entertaining both in art and culture than in football itself, coming from Brazil.
Yes, we are going to see the best of women's football in 2027, and hopefully the Super Falcons will also be there to showcase their prowess from the continent of Africa. Maybe by 2027. Joseph Peters, I don't know if you agree with me that by 2027, do you think the Super Falcons can win the World Cup?
Shot. It's by a long shot, but one can be hopeful and one can actually dream, right? If we try to put our acts together and continue the way we are going, because I feel like we're on upward trajectory right now when it comes to Super Falcon. So if you can just focus and try to bring in, mix them up and try to make something good out of maybe the next year and the following year. Why not? This is football. It's a game of football. At least if the men cannot win the World Cup when it comes to men football, then the women should be able to give us that joy, right? So yes. I really wish the Super Falcons best, and I hope that they will be there, because I can imagine that a lot of Nigerians may, if the Super Falcons is not there, and that will be missing a whole lot, right? So I
Yes,
really
of
hope
course.
that the Super Falcons get to do well, qualify for the World Cup, perform very well in the World Cup, they try to, get to the stage, maybe semi-finals. I'll be satisfied with it. And if they make it to the final, then we can all dream.
Yes, we cannot dream if they make it to the finals. The last FIFA World Cup in New Zealand, Australia, Nigeria got to the second round. We lost via penalties to the English, the Three Lionesses of England. All right, let's leave that story. Talking about a lot of innovation, let's go to Paris, where the International Olympic Committee has also brought in another innovation, at least adding spice, giving the chance to nursing mothers and parents who want to attend the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The IOC launches a nursery for baby Olympians. So the center will be opening from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, and this is an opportunity for those nursing mother, pregnant women to actually have time for themselves and have time for their babies that want to athletes, sports lady women who are athletes and what have you. I think this is a welcome development from the International Olympic Committee, at least bringing up this idea to actually give a sense of belonging to everybody.
Yeah, it's a very, very much welcome development. I love it. In fact, this is the IOC trying to spread love around, bring the concept of family into the whole sport and the Olympics itself. It's a very, very good move. This way, when an athlete has the baby and she has to, come to perform and participate, it would be nice to know that your baby is in a nursery close to where you are winning, right? And it's going to be a fairy tale for mothers to tell also their babies when they grow up to actually become men and women that, okay, this is where I kept you, this is how I won this is where this happened. So I feel like it's a form of, IOC try to, bring togetherness into the whole system. And it's actually lovely. It's a good move. And you can see how beautiful the place looks like. And the babies, I'm sure, would enjoy the view, and it's going to be awesome.
Yes, the babies are sure to actually have a fun of their life. They will also be part of the Olympics Paris 2024. And like you said, it's a way of also involving the families. There's no longer issue that, okay, you cannot go with your baby to the Olympic Games. But this time around, a place has been provided where they will be actually, where they will be taken care of, and you also have time for your babies. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day till the last day of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. All right, we'll be changing gear. Let's go straight to the educative side of the weekend sports, where we actually have to bring you some tidbits, some information, at least for your knowledge. So let's go straight to the education side of the program. Did you know? And when we say did you know, we're going to inform you. What you don't know, you're going to know them right about now, as we'll just go straight to did you know. Yes, that is the education side of the program, Weekend Sports. Did you know Manchester United have to wait for 26 years before they won the English Premier League? That was 1992-1993 league season, when Sir Alex Ferguson was at the helm of affairs. They went on to win 13 titles under Sir Alex Ferguson. And also, you know, Chelsea, Manchester City, all of these teams had to wait for 50 years, 40 years before winning the English Premier League. And for Finidi George assistants, a lot of persons says they are not Nigerians, but you've seen it that they have Nigerian region. All of them are Nigerians who will be assisting the new Super Eagles head coach, Finidi George. All right, we'll still continue. Like I said, the English Premier League, La Liga, German Bundesliga, most especially the English Premier League, will be ending this weekend. A whole lot of actions have been lined up. Of all of the 20 teams will be involved in action this weekend. Who wins the English Premier League? Arsenal or Manchester City? The last game will tell. Manchester City have a game at Etihad against West Ham United, while Arsenal will be playing against informed Everton. So who takes, if Manchester City sleep, Arsenal will win the league. If Arsenal, okay, as it stands right now, Manchester City is at the top of the league with 88 points, while Arsenal have 86 points, for just 2 points separating these two teams. So the last day matters in the English Premier League, the hype and boost. And then in the German Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen has already won the league, but they want to set a record. They want to become the only team in the German Bundesliga that will go without losing a game. Is that possible when they play this weekend? A whole lot of this, we will be bringing all of the fixtures from the English Premier League down to the French Ligue 1. And when we come back, we'll be looking at some of these fixtures in all of the league. Let's go there and look at all of these fixtures as we bring them for your viewing pleasure. Yes, those are all of the fixtures in the English Premier League, the German Bundesliga, the La Liga, Italian Serie A, and the French Ligue 1. Let's not forget the Nigerian Premier Football League is not on right now because of Rivers United, who is going to be playing their last outstanding game against Niger Tornadoes. And after that, we'll be looking at the Nigerian Premier Football League when the league resumes. But it is a very great weekend in the English Premier League, and that is of the German Bundesliga. So we'll be looking at these two close leagues side by side. The Spanish La Liga is also already a wrap in that league. Real Madrid are already champions of that league. But in the English Premier League, we cannot say who is the champion yet, but one team is at the top of the table and the other team is following closely. Just 2 points separating these two teams. So we'll be looking at the EPL title race between Arsenal and Manchester City. The last round of games will be coming up on Sunday, where all of the teams will be involved. And also we'll be looking at, though the relegation battle, mathematically the relegation battle is over. So we are going to be looking at the top team, first and second, and then the European places between Chelsea, Tottenham, Chelsea, Manchester United, Brighton, Aston Villa is already okay. Aston Villa is also in that mix, so is a hot one in the English Premier League. The number to call, you'll be calling that number that is on the screen right now. Who wins the English Premier League, Arsenal or Manchester City? Arsenal will be playing against Everton, who's also in form. Though Everton, they've escaped relegation, they are safe, they have 40 points, they cannot go on relegation. But the title race is open. Arsenal, Manchester City. Arsenal will play Everton, like I said, while Manchester City will be at Etihad to play another London team, that is West Ham United. For Manchester City, they got their first win against Tottenham just days ago, where it ended 2-0. This time around, they will be playing another team, and Arsenal fans are praying. They are saying, West Ham United, we are from London, we are from the same London, please do us a favor against Manchester City at the Etihad. All right, Joseph Peters, I think the EPL this season is getting, in fact, this is one of the most interesting seasons personally for me, apart from all of the season I've watched so far, apart from that was the last season of Sir Alex Ferguson between Manchester United and Manchester City, when we saw that the cup was already going to Old Trafford, and eventually there was a U-turn after that. Aguero's great goal, that goal against Queen's Park Ranger actually changed everything, and Manchester City became the champions of the league. But this time around, it is another title close race between Arsenal and Manchester City. Joseph, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I said it's a very, very close range battle for the Premier League this year. It's like they used to say, it's going down to the wire. And this time around, it's not Liverpool, it's Arsenal that's actually pushing Man City, and what a push they have given. But like I'm an Arsenal fan, and I like to be, positive, but there's nothing much more to actually be too positive about, because Man City are playing at home in the Etihad. Even away would have been a problem. Talk more of when they are home with all their fans and seeing the trophy very, very, very close to them. It's going to be very, very difficult for West Ham, and I'm quite okay. I'm quite optimistic on the side of Man City that they would actually, go ahead and win the league. They have done this before, time without numbers. They've done it for, I think, maybe 3-5 seasons, where they just go on winning games at the end of the season. For maybe the last 10 games is a sure win for Manchester City. They've done it before. We have seen it. And it's not surprised. I'll not be surprised if they go ahead and bash West Ham United today. But this is football, and Arsenal cannot help but be hopeful. It is better for them to be there, ready for the taking, than for them to be missing. So the point I'm making is, it's better for them to win against Everton very well today and hope for the best for West Ham, so that if by mistake Man City happens to drop level, then they get to actually win the trophy, the EPL. But because what would actually be not nice is if they do not get to win today and Man City gets to drop points. But I'm very, very sure Arteta must have spoken with his boys, and they are going to finish the title challenge the way they have been in it. I like to tell myself the truth, but I really honestly do not think Man City will drop points today. I do not think David Moyes, who is the coach of West Ham, has any gift for his boy Arteta. I don't think he can pull this through, but I'm quite sure he would try to do that all by himself. But it's going to be a very difficult one. It's Guardiola and it's the Etihad, and we have the Bruna, Haaland, and Rodri, and everybody is fit, and Foden is on fire. I mean, what's best time to actually give the best result than now?
Okay, what time is actually the time is when these guys will actually give their best. It is the EPL title race. You can call in on the show. The number is being displayed on the screen. Who wins the English Premier League for 2023-2024 league season? Arsenal or Manchester City? Manchester City is at the top of the table, 86 points, while 88 points, I beg your pardon, while Arsenal follows with 86 points. So it's a big one. The title race is going down the wire this weekend on Sunday. All matches will be played at the same time. Everton against Arsenal at Emirates Stadium. Manchester City against West Ham United at the Etihad Stadium in the city of Manchester. Let's just run over the table. Like I said, the first and second, the title race is open. Two teams are going for that. And then for the European places, Joseph, we see that as it stands, Aston Villa is already going to complete that top four because they will play in the Champions League. No matter what happens in Tottenham's game against Sheffield United, they will just have 66 points. So that is out. But Chelsea have an opportunity to displace Tottenham if they lose against Sheffield United. By goal difference, they will have the same number of points with Tottenham, but goal difference is going to speak. Chelsea has 13 goal difference. Tottenham has 10. Newcastle United also is in there. Whatever happens, they can go to the 6th position. Manchester United, West Ham United, who is also playing, and then Brighton occupying the 10th position. Now, if you look at all of these, is a big one that will be happening in the English Premier League. The first and second, who wins the title, the European places is also open. I think this is one of the intrigues in the English Premier League that is why it is called the most watched league, the most glamorous league in the world as it stands right now. So what's your take? Tottenham, Chelsea, Newcastle United, Manchester United, West Ham somehow, and Brighton, all of them are locked in the European places battle, the Europa League, the Conference League. This is what these guys are fighting for.
This is actually very beautiful for the Premier League. The first two, the championship is being contested by two teams. Then the European is contested by like 4 or 5 teams have the chance to actually make it for either of the Europeans that are open. And I'm happy for Aston Villa. This is the first time they're making it to the Champions League. And it's the magic of Unai Emery. He's always making impact wherever he goes. Of course, you might want to cut Arsenal period out of it, but then he has been very impactful, turned around Aston Villa and made it a very, very scary thing. And look at the performance. You look at their performance in the season where they won like 13 bounce. That really helped. I think they won either 11 or 13 in the bounce, yeah, and that really helped them and put them in the position where they are today. Congratulations to Unai Emery, congratulations to Douglas Costa and Watkins, who really actually contributed a lot to them being wherever they are now. As for Tottenham, well, you saw move Aston Villa from the Champions League by actually causing an upset and beating Man City, but they just couldn't. And you look back at the last chance that Son wasted. That could have, brought a big twist to the Premier League and given Tottenham the chance to make the Champions League, but they couldn't. He couldn't get the goal. However, they stand the chance now to take the Europa League spot. I'm quite optimistic for them that they will not use that to play. Looking at the opponent with Sheffield United, which has been relegated already. Although these relegated clubs have a way of upsetting things just for nothing, even if it does not profit them. But I'm sure that Chelsea are also eyeing that spot, and they may probably are saying, okay, if So if Sheffield caused that upset, we might have a chance and would want to, win their games against win their game against Bournemouth. But then Bournemouth is not just so anyhow thing that you come and you stamp on this page, right? So it's going to be actually a difficult task for Chelsea also. When you look at the types of Man United who are also looking for a spot, Brighton and West Ham. West Ham can actually do something if they would be able to, cause an upset at the Etihad. But really, I'm not looking at that way. I'm not looking at that possibility. But this is the most fantastic league ending I've ever experienced ever since I've been watching ever since I've been watching the Premier League, because this one is totally out of another world. It's not like the Manchester City Liverpool one. This
Yes,
time
of
around,
course.
there's competition both at the top, at the middle, and of course, the ones at the bottom have been settled. So it's going to be a great football game of football, or games of football, since everything will be playing simultaneously. And I really hope that I wish the best for Arsenal, but then it's Man City. I don't want to go there.
Okay, you wish the best for Arsenal. And we just have seconds to go. But before we go quickly, the German Bundesliga. Do you think Bayer Leverkusen can create this record? They've gone 50 matches unbeaten in all competition, but now they have just one match to cement and set their own record. They will be at home against Augsburg. Do you think they can go the German Bundesliga season without a loss? Do you think that quickly?
I think Bayer Leverkusen will beat Augsburg 3-1. So that
Okay.
answers it.
Straight up, do you think they will beat Augsburg 3-1? And if they do that, that is going to be 51 matches unbeaten for a club record in the whole of the top 5 league in Europe. All right, that is where we'll be leaving it on the program Weekend Sports. Joseph Peter, thanks for joining up on the show all the way from the city of Kaduna. Like you said, I believe maybe you are an Arsenal fan, and all of you are hoping and wishing something happened at Etihad, but I don't think it's going to be like that. But that is it, Joseph Peters, for coming in on the show Weekend Sports.
Thank you very much for having me. And as an Arsenal fan, whether we win or we do not win, regardless, I think it's a good season.
All right, it's a good season for Manchester City and Arsenal. All right, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.